Howdy do. How you doing, guys? I have a question or two about doing some with my stack cars, also with my slack cars. I also just wanted to show them off a little bit. I know it's repetitive a little bit, but these are four gear and extraction. That one is a four gear uh, Fireman F100 truck. Really beautiful. I wish I could focus it. It's really beautiful. Some of you may already have it. This is a Chevy Blazer Rally, and of course, it is Extraction. This is another four gear, a version of the Auto World Ambulance, also four gear. And then these are the rest of my slack cars, and this is how they go. Uh, Here, from this one here, I have four gear funny cars, stock car funny cars. And there's another one on my list, a couple more on my list. There's a couple of Batman cars that are four gear that I want, and there's one more uh, Plymouth. Um, I think it's a Barracuda with a Hearst livery that's four gear that I also want. These are very nice. They run really beautiful, not just in a straight line, which they do. And I plan to have some drag races here in the future. But they also run the course, the rally course, Grand Prix course very well. And then, so those sixes, one, two, three, four, five, six. I know this is a very modest collection at this point, but and that's seven, eight, nine. So it's eight four-gear Outer World slack cars with a couple more, about three more on my list. And then these are my AFX. And then this one is a purchase of one that is that runs on braids and runs polarized on the track. And I bought it because it was very inexpensive and it's good looking actually, and looks like a Lamborghini. And But it's not branded in any way, so it was very inexpensive. And I'm I'm gonna do some work on the motor on that with some soldering and soldering the motors, switching polarities on it. I bought it for practice, basically, which is what I'm gonna do with that one. Now, this is a question I have, or let me get to the rest of my collection here. This is these are second generation Corvette, third generation Corvettes from the late 60s, early 70s. These are R8s, which I believe are like what, eighth generation Corvettes. These two, very beautiful. They run great. And then the Ford GTs, right? This one was the number two was Sebring AJ Foyt. The number one red was Le Mans AJ Foyt winner. This one placed second at Sebring. This one placed first in Le Mans, and this one placed first. This was Ken Miles, I believe, also first at Daytona. And then, of course, I forgot to put it in there. I forgot one. It's on the track. Uh, the Ken Miles Le Mans uh, number 98, Daytona number 98, which really is beautiful. And I got to put it in there. I forgot to put it in there. That's okay. We'll get it. I'll get it again. I'll make room for it. And anyway, this is the question. And let me get to the rest of them. This is the Ford GT 350. I woke up this morning and went for a walk in my walker, and I'm high strung. So, pardon me, because I'm crippled and it takes all my energy. So I got to be high strung. In any case, I'm having a little fun, and I will get to my question for my fellow slack car enthusiasts. in a moment, so you can help me out, please. These are the Ford AFX Ford 3 G53 350 GTs, which are awesome cars. The livery's awesome. They're historical reproductions, which AFX does incredibly. And then the Pontiac, I think they're Pontiac 500s or something like that. This is the Trans Am with the Phoenix, and this is just a 500. This thing is a monster. They run beautifully. And then I got a Datsun 240Z, which is really beautiful. Extraction chassis. Another extraction chassis of the Mazda RX-7. And I love this livery with carbon fiber on top and on the sides, and it has that Japanese rising sun motif, which is awesome. And then the Porsche Rally from Tyco, the Ferrari F40 number 7 from Tyco, and these are Tyco 440 X2, 440 X2, and then the stock car from Tyco, also 440 X2, and then a couple of Can-Ams from Jag, which are beautiful. I love these cars and they run amazing. And then the AFX F1s, the Lotuses from Senna, and the F1s from the Super International Raceway. And then, of course, the four gear again. So this is my question. It's particular to the Tycos because these are getting old. These are cars that I bought in package, but they're from the late 80s, 1990s. These are collectible items, obviously, right? We all know that are collectible, that are collectors, know that these are very popular Tycos from the late 80s through the late 90s. They were produced. I want to know, and these are wide body chassis. I want to know the replacement chassis for them because I don't want to get another Tyco chassis that they're selling. You know, on eBay, they talk about them on eBay. They they talk about these cars. I mean, they try to sell you a chassis, and they say, "Oh, brand new, never used," but you know it's from 1989 or 1990. You know, so it's nonsense that it's new or not used. This thing needs a tune up anyway. New tires and new shoes and everything. I clean it while I can use it, but I'm looking to replace it. What's a good replacement uh, chassis for this? I don't know if it's just Viper may have something or some other uh, boutique, you know, vendor may have a replacement chassis for that fits the 440X2 from Tyco. So if you could, uh, you know, inform me what would you replace this with? What would you replace the chassis of the 440 Tyco 440X2? If any of you know, you know, I follow Steve and Randy and several very knowledgeable people, and David, that you guys have been collecting for many years and have a collection that's in the hundreds of vehicles. So you would know much better than me because you're into it much more than I am. So, or anyone that's watching this video that knows what they're talking about, I appreciate it. Or even Chris, I know that he's having some updates to his track. So I'm just looking for information, so I don't just go through the internet, browsing and browsing and browsing, endlessly browsing, but not really having any kind of compass as to what would be the best move or the right move in this case. Because these chassis are getting old. This one's failing, uh, and these two are already in need of very serious tune-ups, even though they run very nice. By the way, these two run very nice. So I appreciate your help. Thank you for watching this brief video. It went longer than I thought, but I'm in love with my slot cars. It's like that Queen song says, I'm in love with my car. I have an ordeal with my automobile. Well, in this case, it's slot cars. Uh, have a good day. Keep collecting and racing slot cars and diecast. And subscribe and save if you like. Bye.